Hey, Brendan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got another 2024 rookie report here for you. We're going to talk about Xavier Legette, South Carolina wide receiver. He is a senior. I'm going to be joined by my podcast co-host, Jason DiRienzo, and the two of us are going to talk about Legette and what he looks like as a future 2024 rookie draft pick next year. Very polarizing player, really late production in his career, but nonetheless, he's got an intriguing skill set and speed combination that has NFL draft guys talking about him early in the draft process. You play Dynasty, you play Fantasy, and you're looking for a YouTube channel out there. It's going to give you an early look at the 2024 draft class and beyond. Hit that subscribe button. We very much appreciate the support here on the channel. Leave a comment too and let us know what you think about Xavier Legette. Let's get to the show. All right, Jason, let's talk about our next rookie report and Xavier Legette. Very polarizing prospect. And I'm excited to dig into Xavier. Wide receiver, 6'3", 227-pound receiver. He is a senior, plays for South Carolina. So let's go through. We're going to go through his career statistics, his PFF statistics, his scouting report, and his dynasty and draft projections. So 105 receptions in 4 years of college football, 1,500 yards, 10 TDs, averaging 15.2 yards a catch. That is for his career. We're going to talk about, his late development here very shortly. Played outside wide 74%, so he was primarily a boundary receiver. Played inside 26%, reception percentage 67%. He had dropped only 8 in his career, 7.1%. His PFF statistics for the 2023 season is receiving grade 86.8 on the 90th percentile of the chart. Contested catch rate 47.6%, kind of what we talked about with the Malik Neighbor shows. They're all kind of in this 50-50 range. Grade against man coverage, 86.1%. So again, in the 90th percentile in FBS college football. His yards after the catch ability. We saw on film, Jason, the explosion plays this guy has with the ball in his hand. 6.4 yards after the catch per reception, tied for 113th in college football. And his deep catches tied for 10th with 13 over 20 plus yards. 554 of his yards this year ranked him 9th in college football. So what are your thoughts on those stats? Any comments and thoughts?
You know what? I didn't really see him that good against man coverage, so that grade is a little bit polarizing to me. It might have been the competition that he was facing. That would be my guess.
Well, he does play in the SEC. But these are probably very subjective grades that PFF does. I'm sure they've got guys sitting watching
I
this
gotta
and
think.
grading each one. I mean, I don't think it's done by any kind of computer or anything. So let's talk about his scouting report, right? Because Xavier Legette, I mean, we'll talk about his draft capital in a minute. So his scouting report, right? For me, there's two things that stand out for him. All right. The vertical threat at his size at 6'3", 227 pounds, and he ran 22.3 miles per hour at 6'3", 227
That's
pounds.
insane.
Okay. So that was like one of the fastest wide receivers in college football last year at that size. And
That's ridiculous.
it really is ridiculous. So that's, this draft is going to be littered with these 6'3", 215, 220-pound receivers. It's going to be really interesting to see how this class in 2 or 3 years from now really pans out, because the NFL is really leaning towards the early, or the shorter, more nuanced route runner space creators. But man, with that vertical threat ability and that long speed, I mean, that's pretty
There's a
intriguing
lot that you
traits.
can do with that, right? You can
Yeah.
do a lot of damage with that.
What are your thoughts on the scouting
Um,
report?
Yeah, for me, I love the body control. I love the
Yeah.
adjustments of the ball, extension with his hands to snag the ball on erratic throws, no matter the difficulty. That part really impressed me. I think he can climb the ladder. I mean, when he jumps, I mean, his elevator goes all the way to the penthouse. Like, he can get so high and at awkward angles and still haul in a catch. So that's one that really stood out to me. The speed's another, but I think it all starts with his acceleration. He's got great acceleration for that size. And he also does tempo the speed within his route. But yeah, he can stack defenders with ease. There's just so much of the ball tracking, the deep threat. He could be a red zone threat. So teams could really find a way to use him. We'll get into the concerns. I'll let you talk about that because there are areas that I'm not sure if it's going to translate over or not.
Right. So, I mean, my first thing is the late production, right? The success. Where were you for 3
That's
years?
the most alarming one.
And I did a little research. All right. Now he played high. He was the best athlete on his high school football team, and he played
Mhm.
quarterback his senior year in high school.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so he comes to the NFL. He comes to college, right? And he's got to
Right.
kind of learn how to be a wide receiver. Now it took him 3 years because if you were to look at his 4 year career, I think he had like 18 receptions in his first 3 years, and then this year he blows up. So it is a little bit of a concern. These late risers. Now he did win in the SEC, the best conference in college football. Um, Certainly has the physicality, has these traits that we're talking about. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to lie, it gives me a little bit of pause. Is he like a 1 year wonder and he just kind of flashed? So that's a little bit concerned. And I agree with your concern as well that you're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, for me, the separation ability is something that I'm definitely concerned about. Like, I don't think he's a fluid lateral athlete. And the high speed change of direction, the routes get too rounded out when they need to be sharp and crisp. And he does allow DBs to get the inside leverage on him, which is not going to work at the NFL level, especially when you're going against Tre'Davious Whites and Jalen Ramsey's. So that's a big concern. The other thing, too, is when I was looking at the games that he actually did well in, and the games that he didn't, the teams that he didn't do well were teams that we want him to do good against. Like Tennessee, he had 50 yards, Georgia 71 yards, Kentucky 94 yards, Clemson 68 yards, and the rest were just full on explosions against lesser competition. So it's also the competition level that he faced when he was doing well and when he needed to show up a little bit more and be that true X receiver. He was kind of getting stumped. He was getting pushed off his routes. He couldn't tempo himself because DBs were kind of slamming down within his route tree and in that stem, not allowing him to kind of build up that speed. I think he needs to be worked in space a little bit, and that might be a huge problem at the next level. So Xavier Legette, the upside, the ceiling is tremendous, like DK Metcalf type tremendous. But there's also a Kevin White factor where he could be a 1 year wonder and just completely
Oh,
bust no matter the size speed combination.
come on now. No Kevin White comps. Not on this goddamn channel. No.
Uh, I know, but hey, it's there. I mean, 5 years
Listen,
and you finally break out in your last one. That's concerning.
absolutely. So let's talk about his draft and dynasty projections. All right. His draft capital right now, you know me, I love mock drafts. I'm all over the mock draft
Mhm.
world, right? The dude's getting first round mocks. I
That's
mean,
insane.
that,
That's
that
insane.
and a lot of them. So he is kind of rising. I think, you'll see on the draft card here, he's between a first and second round draft capital. I mean, he might fall to the third. And one other note about this is that I'm looking here on the Senior Bowl. He is going to the Senior Bowl. So,
Yeah. Yep.
our concern with the route running and the ability, these one-on-one drills at the Senior Bowl, I think are really going to tell us a lot
Yeah.
when he's
I'm
on
gonna
those
watch him
one-on-one.
like a hawk.
I know you're going to the Senior Bowl. I
Yeah,
can't wait to get those live. I expect pictures, like videos, every
I
15,
got you,
20
buddy.
minutes when you're down there. Um,
I'm gonna be obnoxious
so, I mean, he might be getting that right now, but if he goes down to the Senior Week, I think that Senior Week is going to be, or the Senior Bowl is going to be huge for him. I'm
for
looking
sure.
forward to
Yeah.
you watching him. His Superflex rookie draft, I've just got a second round. If he is going to get that first round draft capital, there's no way he gets out of a second round in a
Nope.
rookie draft. But again,
Not
we're
happening.
early. It's the week before Christmas, everybody. So there's a lot to watch and a lot to see yet. My favorite part of the kind of show too is to do these dynasty value comps, right? Um,
Mhm.
I kind of see him as like a Michael Pittman kind of outside boundary guy with the size may not be well, he's got some speed. He's probably got more speed than Michael Pittman, but
I got
I really, really struggled with a comp for him. And again, this is a value comp. I think he's going to be a wide receiver 2 on a team. He is not going to be a wide receiver 1. I really don't think Michael Pittman is a wide receiver 1 either. I think in 2 or 3 years, they're going to probably have somebody else as a complementary piece there.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Michael Pittman was my dynasty value comp player.
I mean, for the skill set and what he does, I can absolutely see Michael Pittman. I mean, I have
Mhm.
down Nico Collins, and a lot of that has to do with the timing of the development. Like Nico Collins, I think, is finally here and arrived for the Houston Texans this season. And it took him a few years to really get the nuance down and understand what he needs to do
Mhm.
to develop his game at the NFL level. And I think Xavier Legette's going to go through all those growing pains. I think he's the old school, typical 3-year breakout type. I think that's what you can expect. I would be shocked if he does anything in year 1 and year 2.
Yeah, Michael Pittman, I was looking at his stats earlier too. He struggled his freshman year. I don't know if he was dinged up. Michael Pittman seems to have been hurt a lot
Mm.
in my memory
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, it
last
has
4
been.
years. So, but in any case, so Xavier Legette, he's going to be a very polarizing prospect, everybody. He's got these intangible, salivating skills with the size speed combo. But as we discussed, he might not be the best route runner. And unfortunately, in the NFL, you got to create space to stay on the field. So there he goes. Xavier Legette, there is his rookie report.